Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to my channel, Soul Journey. My name is Beck, the Expansion Doula, and today I am doing a reading for the... Oh, it came back. It came back. No. It is what it is. Today we are doing a reading for the collective conscious on planet Earth. Today is May 24th. And I was thinking about doing a reading, you know, my normal camera, the things, tomorrow, a day late, but I just kind of feel like I want to put it out. So here we are on my computer. Again, what is most self-loving? What is going to get the message of, love out? And how are we going to share space with each other? I've just been feeling really warm, yummy vibes. I spent the day with my soul dad, Brooks, and I'm coming to you with my newest plant. Oh, there it goes again. Okay, whatever. My newest plant, as you can see, my garden is growing. This ficus, my boyfriend gave me for my birthday. But I got this trailing elephant bush, or Portulacaria afra prostrata. Yep, probably butchered that. But it's this amazing little plant. It's got these red stems, and I saw it and I was like, oh, I love it. And he's like, get it. And I was like, okay. So he got me this today, and I'm super excited. I believe it's a type of succulent, so I'm pretty excited about that. So I'll be going in my window. So that's pretty. Anyway, plant obsession. So anyway, today is May 24th. So I'm going to be doing a reading for the collective. For those of you who watched my last video, I did a look through of the Zillich Tarot, and that is what I'm going to be reading with. That was kind of my goal. And then we are going to be using the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. Let's see if I can get the light to go again. Oh, ooh, it is what it is. Also, the crystals that have been coming up that Spirit wanted me to guide you towards this week is Unakite. This is a raw piece of Unakite. I wish the color was better. And Citrine. So heart-centered, happiness, presence with the self. So let's shuffle up the oracle and we will get into the reading. If this reading resonates with you or you have any questions, please comment them down below. I love to hear from you guys. And if you would like a personal reading from me to get more clarity on this reading or whatever is going on in your life, you can head down to my description, and I have my Etsy shop there along with my other social media platforms. And you can go to my shop, and there's a couple different reading options that you can purchase. So definitely go check that out if you are looking to get a personal reading. And there's a couple different price points so that anyone can get a reading. And I hope to connect with you. Oh. There it is. All right, let's see here. All right, so like the oracle, I usually do a theme, light and shadow. And then, let's see, we are going to be using the Zillich Tarot for our main energy. Trying to figure out if another deck wants to come through. A card did fall out before, so we will be using that. This deck has a powerful, powerful voice. It's super clear, so we will be going with it. I'm excited. All right, and it's so cute and small. All right. And yes, I think the Universal Love Oracle does want to come through. So we are going to pull some cards from there. Getting a little more of a background of what it's like when I pull cards. I just decided to pull cards on this with you guys because I just felt that coming through. All right. truth cards. Truth cards from Spirit. Exciting. And that's the Universal Love Oracle. There may be some nudity in these decks, so heads up. You know how I do. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so our main energy for this week coming, starting on Sunday, is balance. All right, so balance. So it's interesting. What I'm getting reminded of here is that heart space of the Unakite and the citrine. So a balance between flow and intuition and drive, and connecting our drive to our heart space. Making sure that the drive isn't ego-based, isn't, just about our thoughts, but being really balanced with the heart. So we got that drive, that exciting masculine energy with the feminine heart flow energy, and really coming together into a balance. What's going to assist us with that in the light is enchantment. Wow. So I feel like what's going to assist us in this heart space is getting excited about the simple things, the beautiful things like plants and the lake and the sky and the birds and the simple things, the connections, the laughing, getting enchanted, because that's what our hearts really want, right? They want to be excited. They want to be full, and through that comes gratitude. And that's what's really going to drive us forward, because gratitude is one of the highest frequencies on the planet for receiving and abundance and manifesting and having all the yummy good stuff that we need and want to come to us, no matter what that is. So being in that heart-centered, gratitude, enchanted state. So what's going to hinder us is listening. Interesting. So a lack of listening, because this is in the reverse, because it's what's going to be hindering us. So not listening to what actually excites us. So many times we're told what we should enjoy. As a kid, I always didn't like what everyone loved, and I always liked different things, and I often got a lot of judgment for that. I often would judge myself for it. And so start taking note of what really makes you feel peaceful and balanced and joyful. Maybe it's something simple. Maybe it's something silly. Maybe it's something like, I'll use plants again, where I'm like, oh, I don't really want to be putting my money into that. Like, what's the point? But it's like, you know what? No, it brings me a lot of joy. I love the meditation of watering my plants and repotting things and getting grounded. And so I have taken note. So this week is about taking note of what actually brings you joy. Notice when you're feeling like you don't have to work at what you're doing, when you're just kind of in the flow. Maybe it's making tea, maybe it's reading a book, maybe it's helping people, maybe it's sharing knowledge. Whatever it is, take note, write it down. That is your soul path. That is what you should be focusing on, because those are your gifts, those are your talents, those are your passions. So create a balance between your drive to do and what feels good in your heart space. All right, so on to the tarot. So our main energy is 10 of Cups. Look at that. Emotional fulfillment. Look at that. Beautiful. Come on, give me the good light. Okay, it is what it is. So emotional fulfillment. Well, that is so perfect. This also has like the purples. It is green and purple, so kind of connecting that soul path, the spiritual, with the heart space, and connecting in. So this is going to be our main energy. So we are really exploring what feels good to us. I saw a post the other day from my best friend. It said about really stepping into this, like, an intense expansion of knowing ourselves. Like, all of these old stories are starting to fall apart, and really understanding the new essence of ourselves, or rather what our essence has been all along and what has been trodden down on. So this week we are opening up the heart space. What's going to assist us with that is Queen of Swords. So this is a powerful queen. She's aware of her thoughts. She's aware of the power her words hold. She's witty. She doesn't let her thoughts run away with her. She's aware that again, her tongue has its power. So be aware of your inner thoughts, your inner speak and your outer speak. What are you manifesting with your words? Even if somewhere in your thoughts you're like, oh, I'm positive, but you're speaking out what you don't want, if you're focusing on the things that don't bring you joy, and you're saying, I wish it wasn't like this, and I wish I didn't have that, and I wish it could be like this, and I can never, those are the things you're speaking out to the universe. Imagine every time you speak or have a thought that you take seriously, the universe goes, okay, that's your reality. Think about that. So what's going to assist us in bringing in our joy in our heart space is being aware of our words, because as we speak out what we want, that will come to us, and we will find it easier to experience our joy. It's going to be hard for our souls to get filled if we're always saying that we are in lack. Literally watch every word. And sometimes it's okay not to speak. Think about what you want to speak out. Let every word be a request to the universe. All right, what is hindering us? Whoa. Oh, 10 of Swords, ruin. That is what is going to be hindering us. This is a creepy ass card, people. This literally gives me the chills. So what is going to hinder us is not allowing for the things to fall away. And what I'm really sensing here is the stories that we have been told are us, right? So maybe it's a past thing we did, something that we really identify with, something that feels like it's a part of us. But when we think about it, it's not joyful. It's stagnant. It feels dark. Maybe it's being in the army in the past, or a past relationship that we can't let go of, or a high school diploma that we got that we're just not feeling anymore. Maybe it's a career, a job, whatever it is, a personality trait that we've, used as a defense mechanism, but we so think it's us still. What's going to hinder us is not letting those old stories fall away. Do those stories feel good in your soul? Do they feel light? Do they feel expansive? And if they don't, maybe it's time to say, that was me in the past, but now I am a new person. I don't have to hold on to that story anymore. So what's going to hinder us is not letting go of those stories, because it's going to be hard to pursue what really brings us joy if we're still holding on to what we believe did bring us joy, or who we were in the past. All right, moving on. So the main energy for this reading is 8 of discs. Eight of discs is about honing our craft, and this was actually in reverse. Interesting. So I feel like this week we're going to be exploring, but there is going to be a little bit of a struggle. We're going to have this like a little bit of not feeling like we're fully committed. And I think that's going to come in because what's hindering us is a resistance to the shift. So I feel like we're going to have a little bit of a hard time committing into this new path, into this new balance, into this new enchantment, and really allowing ourselves to flow within our passions. We're still feeling a little stuck. So be aware of that. So when you're feeling stuck, go, oh yeah, the universe wants me to move forward here, and I need to step into a space of vulnerability, whether it's with myself or the people you're with or whatever, and just step into a space of going, no, I want a new space, because most of us are wanting a new space, but we really have a hard time letting go of the old story of who we are. Hydrate. Okay, now we got several cards from Spirit here, so we are going to get into it. So the first card that came out is 5 of Swords, which is defeat. So again, I think the universe, our guides are really telling us that defeat isn't necessarily a bad thing. This is letting go of old stories may feel like letting go of a part of ourselves. It may feel like a death. And it's interesting because this is 10 of Swords. This is like the release, the ending. So we're having a hard time really letting go of these really deep stories. And so there might feel a little bit of defeat there. And it might be hard. You might need to go again and again, which is maybe where this 8 of discs is feeling like we're not sure we're fully committed to this. But we do know that ultimately this is the journey we're on. what's going to go with that is Three of Swords, sorrow. Damn. All right, so we are going to be looking at old patterns. Oftentimes, these old paradigms and stories. What is happening with my computer? These old stories and paradigms and habits and defense mechanisms come from old wounds. So those are going to come up. So it might not be like the happiest week, which is interesting because the main energy is actually, emotional fulfillment. But don't forget, if we resist that change, it's going to keep coming up for us. So if we allow that to come and flow through us, we're actually going to feel better. Almost like when you get sick, you feel nauseous, you feel awful, but once you get sick, you're like, okay, I can breathe. I'm okay. Like I don't feel bad anymore. So this balance and this coming into a new space could have a little bit of a purging aspect to it. So it might not be all sunshine and roses, but ultimately you're going to feel a release and you're going to feel lighter. All right, let's move on. Still from Spirit. So we've got Temperance. Again, this is like a balance card. So it's reminding us to come back to balance. It's allowing ourselves to move forward and also come from our heart space. So we really want to balance out the mind and the heart and let it come together and work together. The heart is the intuitive guiding and the mind gets it done. It is actually the tool. Oftentimes we go in the reverse. We kind of ignore the heart and we're just like the mind, the mind, the mind. But what we need to remember is the mind is what gets us to where the heart wants to be. So this is like, the heart is like the driver and the mind is the rudder. It actually gets the job done, but the heart tells us where we want to be. So be aware of that balance. And going along with that is Ace of Wands. So again, this is new energy coming in. We need to allow it to happen. But again, we need to release. We need to release so that we can be shot forward. This is fertility. This is new energy. This is fiery, fertile, exciting. Let's get it going. It's pure potential. So as we come into this, we're going to be starting to acknowledge our pure potential, and that is really exciting. And the last card from the tarot is Nine of Discs, Gain in reverse. Interesting. So I feel like there's this real like back and forth, and I'm really feeling this is Spirit telling us that we have been manifesting a lack because that's what we've been focusing on. We've been focusing on the things we don't want, and to be aware of that and that we can flip them around, because as soon as we flip around our perspective, it's all the gain we need. All right, and the last three cards here. There's a cat outside. Okay, and the last three cards from Spirit are, there's nudity, heads up, love. So this is about falling in love with yourself. This is about understanding that you are built perfectly for your journey, and the only thing getting in our way is our belief that we are not good enough. So fall in love with yourself. You are perfect for what you need to bring to this planet, and you do have something to bring to this planet. There's no one here who doesn't have something to give and exchange and share with the planet. And when we share and when we are fully in our expression, we can then receive fully. So remember that first you must understand your worth and what it is worth to the planet. And that could be for a few people, that could be for the entire planet. Either way, as a collective, we're all connected. And so share your gifts. But first you must fall in love with yourself and understand that you have something to give. The next thing is heaven on earth. Beautiful. And through that love, we can create our own heaven, but the collective. As we shift into our own personal essence and understanding our pure worth, we will create a heaven on earth, because everyone will be in alignment. Everyone will be centered, and then we can give and receive our most authentic expressions, and it will create magic. And the last one is golden path. So I'm really feeling like Spirit is telling us is we are on the path. We are here, we are going down it, and this is a golden divine path. So don't be scared of what's coming up. If something is coming up, it is there to be healed, looked at, explored, and loved. So remember that even the things that feel uncomfortable, even the things that like we don't want to let go of, if they're coming up, if we're acknowledging that they don't feel good anymore, or if something does feel good, acknowledge it and trust that it is what is coming up on our path for the absolute best potential for our soul expansion. That is it, guys. We are at 20 minutes. This is probably the longest collective reading video. You think the light's gonna shift again? Woo! And thank you so much for joining me. Sometimes these more light videos, when I don't have to set up a camera, I don't have to edit, I don't have to do these things, feels much better for me. So we'll see what we get in the future. It's all about the content anyway. The message. I wish more people realized that. Don't you wish it's like old YouTube when people had like shitty cameras and it was just about connecting with the soul? I miss that. That's why I like Alex Day. It's like why I like the Vlogbrothers. Edited, but still raw. Still authentic and beautiful. And those are the people we're drawn to, right? Those are the people that feel like real people. There's no like mask. And that's what we're starting to look for. So seek out those people and also realize that that is your most beautiful expression and become that as well. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Again, if you would like a personal reading, head down to my description down below to my Etsy shop and check out my other social media platforms. And like this video if it resonated and share it if you felt it was helpful. And subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the future. I try to post Friday, Monday, and Wednesday. On Monday and Wednesday, I post about lifestyle, sustainability, spiritual journey, self-love, connecting with spirit, all the good stuff. So thank you so much for watching. Namaste. And don't forget, it is all about the soul journey. Bye.